Listen. Bum, bum, dum, 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 dum. Oh. That part. We on live. Oh. How y'all doing? What's up, Sway? Y'all doing all right? Came on. I just felt inspired to come on. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm just gonna put on some music here. Let's get it down. Do-do-do-do-do. What's up, Miss Sharetta? How are you? What's up, Gummy Glue? I feel like I wanna pick up this book and read it. Hey. What's up, MJ? How are you doing? Hey. What's up, Determined Soul? How you spell that? You doing all right tonight? What's up, Gayla Lover? 9. I hope y'all doing well. We are here. Tonight's gonna be a good night. What's up, Nurse K0686? Hope you're doing well. It's been a while since I've been on live by myself, consistently anyway. And I was like, oh, why not? Why not? It is raining here in Texas, and yeah, I think we're gonna read 4 readings while we're here. Hey, what's up? How y'all doing? What's up, Layla? Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Listen, we may not even be on here long. Hey, hey, hey. All right, welcome, y'all. Welcome. I just took a moment to breathe. It's been a moment since we have been live, but peace and blessings. Yes, it's been a minute, and I just felt inspired to come on live, and we'll see how long we stay on tonight. How are you, Be the Flame? How have you been? How have you been? What you been up to? It's been months for me. I think I stopped going live in February. I wasn't going live consistently, let's say that. But tonight it's raining here in Texas, and I was gonna go out line dancing, but I just felt led to go live. I'm going to be working on getting going live more often this year. In full transparency, I think it's been one of the roughest years of my life, and I have to go into detail more later because I think it's important to share. Oh, a happy birthday! Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. That's what's up. So you said a few days. So you are the cusp of me spitting. Sorry, Sagittarius and Scorpio. Or you identify as a Scorpio or a Sagittarius. What's up, Arvalo? My daughter is November the no. Well, my daughter's birthday was Monday the 18th, and then my other daughter, Sun Scorpio Moon. Okay, Scorpio Moon, Sagittarius Sun Scorpio Moon. Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. I love it. So you feel very deeply. Listen, you feel very, very, very deeply. So that's what's up. So, like I said, I just hopped on. I'm getting into the spirit, setting my intentions to be live. Thank you for the rose more often. And it's almost like one of those things that, in full transparency, I went through some life experiences, and it was one of those things like, how do I encourage other people and be in a space to where I can uplift and coach and teach when I'm working through a space, when I was working through spaces, and really still working through a space of how to coach myself and still show up. So thank y'all for being patient. Thank you for all the love and the support for those that have been like seeing my posts and be like, Titus, where are you? Where have you been? I'm still here. I'm still here. So, but thank you, thank you, thank you. And let's just get into this book while we're here. I'm reading the Four Agreements. I think it's a good reminder for all of us, especially in the climate and everything that we're in. So let me just start with the introduction. Let's get into the introduction. So this first chapter is the Toltec. Okay, thousands of years ago, the Toltec were known throughout southern Mexico as women and men of knowledge. Anthropologists have spoken of the Toltec as a nation or a race, but in fact, the Toltec were scientists and artists who formed a society to explore and conserve the spiritual knowledge and practices of the ancient ones. They come together as masters, Nugulas, and students at Teotihuacan, the ancient city of pyramids outside Mexico City, known as the place where man becomes God. Over the millennia, the Nugalas were forced to conceal the ancestral wisdom and maintain its existence in obscurity. European conquest, coupled with rampant misuse of personal power by a few of the apprentices, made it necessary to shield the knowledge from those who were not prepared to use it wisely or who might intentionally misuse it for personal gain. What's up, Katie? Fortunately, the historic Toltec knowledge was embodied and passed on through generations by different languages of Nagulas. Through it, though it remained veiled in secrecy for hundreds of years, ancient prophecies foretold the coming of age when it would be necessary to return the wisdom to the people. Now, Don Miguel Ruiz, a Nagul from Eagle Knight lineage, has been guided to share with us the powerful teachings of the Toltec. Toltec knowledge arises from the same essential unity of truth as all the sacred historic traditions found around the world. Though it is not a religion, it honors all the spiritual masters who have taught on earth. While it does not embrace while it does embrace spirit, It is most accurately described as a way of life, distinguished by the ready accessibility of happiness and love. Come on in the room. Welcome, welcome. So we're reading from the Four Agreements. We're starting to read from the Four Agreements. And we're going to eat this all the way back up, back again. Like, this is really reminding me of like where we are spiritually. I feel like a lot of people are waking up and they want more than just the Bible verses. Our soul is wanting more than the stories of Jesus Christ, the man himself. And so I think this is just a good pick me up as we are navigating our own spiritual journey. You know what I mean? So, introduction, let's get into it. The smoky mirror. What's up, Beth? Come on in the room. 3,000 years ago, there was a human just like you and me who lived near a city surrounded by mountains. Hey, the human was studying to become a medicine man to learn the knowledge of his ancestors, but he didn't completely agree with everything he was learning. In his heart, he felt there must be something more. Listen, I felt inspired. I was like I was gonna go somewhere, and then it's raining outside, and currently I'm in between vehicles, and so I didn't want to pay the Uber price to get there. So I just felt, compelled to let's just go live, because I am honestly I'm dismantling the shame around not being live and the reasons why, and I'm embracing my own humanness, and then all that. It was just like this little ding, ding. Let's just go live. And so we are in this space of going live tonight and getting back into the mic. Absolutely. Listen, let me get the mic. I have a mic over here in my studio. Absolutely. We might have to get into it by the end of the live as to what has happened in my life this year that I was legit kind of figuring out how do I hold space as I'm trying to create my own space, okay? And it might be a little tears, but I have chosen to step into the intention in the space of releasing the shame and the guilt and all those things. You know what I mean? So we heal, we grow together. All right. So where were we? In his heart, he felt there must be something more. Okay. One day, as he slept in a cave, he dreamed that he saw his own body sleeping. He came out of the cave on the night of a new moon. The sky was clear, and he could see millions of stars. Then something happened inside of him that transformed his life forever. He looked at his hands, he felt his body, and he heard his own voice say, I am made of light. I am made of stars. He looked at the stars again, and he realized that it's not the stars that create light, but rather light that creates the stars. Everything is made of light, he said, and the space in between isn't empty. And he knew that everything that exists is one living being, and that light is the messenger of life because it is alive and contains all information. Speaking of, I was listening to there's a movie coming out called David, and part of the song that he was singing was basically follow the light. And I thought it was interesting because I feel like there's so many clues within Bible stories metaphysically about going within. And I think it's really, I don't want to say use the word interesting, but I'm just in awe of how my awakening has caused me to see these things that have been in front of our faces the whole time, right? Like Jesus being the light of the world. When we are all really the light of the world, we're looking to shine, or are we been what have we been orchestrated? Maybe that's not the right word. What is the word? We've been really commissioned to shine our own light in the craziest, not craziest way, in our own unique way. We've been commissioned to shine our own light. And Jesus, the man himself, was showing us that we needed to shine our own light. But that's just where I'm at with it. Okay? Then he realized that although he was made of stars, he was not those stars. I am in between the stars, he thought. So he called the stars the tonal and the light between the stars the nagul. And he knew that what created the harmony and space between the two is life or intent. Hey, Legation. Without life, the tonal and the noggle could not exist. Life is the force of the absolute, the supreme, the creator who creates everything. Thank you, Beth, for the share. And thank you, everybody, for sharing and coming in. This is what he discovered. Everything in existence is a manifestation of the one living being we call God. Let's say that again. This is what he discovered. Everything in existence is a manifestation of the one living being we call God. Everything is God. That is still kind of hard at times to digest. The fact that we are legit a incarnation, if you will, of a piece of God. And I think in a lot of Christian, I don't want to say, just in a lot of religious spaces, we have forgot, or how we want to call it, but we all are God by the way that we create our own life, navigate, however our soul signed up for it. And even scripture, this says this, I think it's in Psalms, and it talks about Jesus saying this himself, that know ye that ye are gods. And I think this is so important to really hold on and grasp when it comes into manifestation, really getting into what we want and what we desire, really tapping into who we be to our core is very important, because not everybody is made up the same, but we all have the same power. Woo! Ain't that something? I hope that makes sense to y'all. Not everybody is made up the same, but we all have the same power. We all have something. We all have something. Have that something in us. We have that something in us, but we use that something in us differently. And I think that's where the icing is finding the God in you. Finding the God in, I feel like I'm getting a little preachery. Whoa. We all have that something in us, right? Thank you for the heart, Beth. But life has its way of having us to have these human experiences where we forget that the all of the all is living on the inside of us. Listen, everything is God. And he came to the conclusion that human perception is merely light perceiving light. He also saw that matter is a mirror. Everything's a mirror that reflects light and create images of that light. And the world of illusion, the dream, is just like smoke, which doesn't allow us to see what we really are. The real us is pure love, pure light, he said. It's like having a poncho in the rain. Can you explain that, City? Can I bring you on for you to explain that? It's like having a poncho in the rain. I'm intrigued. It's like having, can you explain that? It's like having a poncho in the rain. I don't know if I can bring you on. It's like having a poncho in the rain. What is that? It's like having a poncho in the rain. Like, so you don't get wet because you don't need to get, like, it's like having a poncho in the rain. I'm letting it fully protected. And I guess my mind went somewhere else, because I guess I went into the submersion. I went into the submersion in the rain, because it's actually raining right now. And if I went outside, I wouldn't necessarily need protection if I'm in the space of the rain, which is the all. I hope that makes sense, because I'm connected to everything. But definitely I can see that too. I can see the covering of you being who you are in this flesh, in this body. Is that what you mean? Did I bring it back full circle? So the real us is pure love, pure light, right? The real us. Okay, God, yes, God bless. Okay, the real us is pure love, pure light, he said. It is a great book. Great book. The realization changed his life. Once he knew what he really was, he looked around at other humans and the rest of nature. Hey, hey, Seth, did you change your name? You changed your or has that always been your TikTok name? He saw himself in everything, in every human, in every animal, in every tree, in the water, in the rain, in the clouds, in the earth. And he saw that life mixed the tonal and the nagal in different ways to create billions of manifestations of life. Oh, for gaming. I love that. I love that. In those few moments, he comprehended everything. He was very excited. Very excited. And his heart was filled with peace. He could hardly wait to tell his people what he had discovered. But there were no words to explain it. He tried to tell the others, but they could not understand. They could see that he had changed, that something beautiful was radiating from his eyes and his voice. They noticed that he no longer had judgment about anything or anyone. He was no longer like anyone else. He could understand everyone very well, but no one could understand him. They believed that he was an incarnation of God, and he smiled when he heard this, and he said, "It is true. I am God, but you are also God." I bet. That is encouraging. He had discovered that he was a mirror for the rest of the people, a mirror in which he could see himself. Everyone is a mirror, he said. He saw himself in everyone, but nobody saw him as themselves. And he realized that everyone was dreaming, but without awareness, without knowing what they really are. They couldn't see him as themselves because there was a wall of fog or smoke between the mirrors. And that wall of fog was made by the interpretation of images of light, the dream of humans. Then he knew that he would soon forget all that he had learned. He wanted to remember all the visions he had had. So he decided to call himself the smoking mirror so that he could always know that matter is a mirror and the smoke in between is what keeps us from knowing what we are. He said, "I am the smoky mirror because I am looking at myself in all of you, but we don't recognize each other because of the smoke in between us. That smoke is the dream, and the mirror is you, the dreamer." Oh, you reading it with me? I'm on page I was on page 19. That was 19. Living is easy with eyes closed, misunderstanding all you see. Now we're getting into one. The domestication and the dream of the planet. This is such an edible book because it's reminding me of my own human experience that I had this year. And so earlier, I don't know if I can have the mic just to share, if that's okay. If not, we can keep because I know you just pulled up your book. And but I was gonna share a piece of, why I haven't been live. And for me, this is about releasing the guilt, releasing the shame, and just realizing that everybody has a rock bottom. And I thought, you still read often? That's what's up. I think it's a good reminder of our humanity. I thought that going through divorce was rock bottom. But I'm realizing that as we go through life, we will always have something that we have to work through. And this year, I personally had to work through, I think I'm working through the guilt and the shame of it still, of facing eviction. And I just said it out there. So it releases all the guilt and all the shame. Like I think it's one of those things to know that I have an influence on people. I have an influence on people. And I think it's like having a being a spiritual leader. And I've really feel like I've taken on that as a persona. And I'm learning how to still be able to give wisdom, all at the same time understand that have my own sugar honey iced tea to deal with. And this year, going through and walking through an eviction and realizing I still had on this mask in a way, because I think religion taught me not to share, not to ask for help. You have to look a certain way, you have to be a certain way. And I've learned through this entire experience that I've done nothing wrong. And this is what, this is what I tell myself. I've done nothing wrong. And this is what other people told me too. But as you are living your dream, as you are working your dream, that you have to be open to what happens, because it's all about having your own experience, right? Like I went full entrepreneurship 2 years ago, and it just got rough. And honestly, it was like, okay, God, you got me. But then it's like, God, do you really got me? And I have learned how to really be grateful for any and everything. Any and everything. Because there were times this year that I never thought I would sleep in my car. But this year was one of those years that I slept in my car. And I said it out loud. It'll probably come back up. But it was really big. And this for me is reminding me of our own humanity. Like, you never know what somebody is dealing with. You never know what somebody is walking through. And it takes courage. It takes strength to show up. And even now I'm having to talk myself out of, okay, you said it, regardless of who wants to stay around and who, because it's like one of those things, like, who will follow somebody who is going through a hard time? And maybe these are things that I've told myself, right? Because I'm not necessarily looking for people to follow me, because I want you to follow the voice of the inside of you. But I think it's one of those things that society has trained us for, you to follow that person that has the things. And I've had to this year detach myself from the things, the car, the house, the ideal family, right? What it looks like, so that spirit source creator could give me what is really in my soul's curriculum. Like, I understand now what family looks like, and it doesn't necessarily look like blood. It looks like people being open to hearing your story without not necessarily coming to help, but actually holding that space. Thank you, user 484. I understand. I grew up in a holiness church. The enlightenment I walk today is something different. It is totally different. And especially if you got a calling, and if you know that you're not called to work a 9 to 5. And I had a coach, and I was telling her about my experience, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I've been there." It's like, yeah, I've been there. And it was like, you'll get through it. And the one of those things while you're in the thick of it is like, will I get through it? Because right now it looks like, what the, you know what I mean? And I think it's one of those things where you just have to brace yourself for the journey and be okay that you've done nothing wrong. And if the universe is for you, that this is all a part of the plan. This is all a part of the plan. And I want to say, who's ever watching this, who's ever coming in the room, that wherever you are, it's all a part of the plan. And so with all that, I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed to show up. Because, like, at one point I was like, well, let me just do the sound baths out my car. But I was so in my head about doing it that I was just in a slump, and really working my way on how do I get out of this slumber, or this space of being anxious, because I'm thinking that I should look. Oh, that's what's up. Appreciate it. But having to get myself out of the slumber so that I could show up, so that I could be an encouragement, so that I could sing and do the things that I know that I'm called to do. But in all that, that's where I've been. I've been working through mental spaces of not being perfect, if we can say it that way. I've been working through the angst of uh, making it appear one way, or feeling like I can't show up because I don't have this, I don't have that, And I was reminded, and we just actually started the inner chamber. Hey, we started the inner chamber. The link is in my bio. It's free, but this is a space for creatives to come in and just be a part of this journey that we are all on as our soul is unfolding, as we are launching out into the deep. And here's the thing. Some people will say keep your job. Some people will say burn the boat. This is what I discovered on this journey. No one can tell you what the fuck to do. Because that might be part of your curriculum. And you're probably like, Titus, why did you leave your job? Honestly, I felt compelled to leave. And the first 2 years, it was good. Like, I was like, when I first left my job, like 2 weeks later, somebody had hired me to work. Like, my best friend had hired me, right? But I did not know the mindset that I had to have in order to sustain the manifestation, right? There's a mindset that you have to have. There's a spiritual practice that you have to have, right? So I would tell anybody that's trying to be entrepreneur, you gotta check in, you gotta clock in, and if you are wanting to just leave with no plan, I will first say you gotta have a plan. Have a plan and stick to the plan, but be ready for whatever pops off. Be ready for whatever pops off. One of my mentors, Kenny, said, he was homeless, but in 30 days, he manifested like 6 figures. You know what I mean? So I think everybody's journey is different, but you have to be willing to buckle in, because it will take you on a freaking ride. And I've been on the ride of my life this year. And I said all that to say, because I know a lot of people have been asking where I'm at, like, why am I not doing the sound baths? And honestly, I was like, okay, I was embarrassed. And that was it. Shame, working through my own angst, in my cousin's house. Like, she let me do sound baths then, but it's like, mentally it was just like I wasn't there. So now we're getting in a space of being okay with being live, just to even have a conversation, because I'm realizing and knowing that even in conversation is healing. You may not be able to say you've been evicted, but somewhere in this story is you, because you're here, because we are a mirror of each other. We are a mirror of each other. So maybe you're not walking through an eviction, but maybe you are walking through a place in your life that you've never been before. And that can cause you to be in angst. That can cause you to be in fear. That can cause you to be all over the place, right? So this is why I feel like, again, if we get back to the book and we get into these agreements, we can't judge anybody, because we don't know what somebody is walking through that they might need to know for the sake of their own healing. And when I did my human design today and been looking at my chart, Chiron is in my second house, and I'm realizing that the pain that I have walked through, have become my launching pad, if you will. Like, this season, I've written some amazing songs to help me dissect what I've walked through. And in that experience, I have learned that songwriting and singing is actually my medicine. And I thought, that it was to give it to other people, but I'm realizing more and more that I need to save some for me. So we'll have to tell you later about the song I wrote, and no offense to anybody that's in the room. But I wrote a song called If Jesus Gave Mary That Would. And y'all probably heard it, because I did post it. But that song was freeing to me, because I was able to sit in what I actually believe with no shame and no guilt. All right, let's get into it. Like, thank y'all family for showing up and just holding space, no judgment. I think this is family right here. This is family when you feel safe enough to share your downs and outs. Yes, it's got to be personal. And I've had to listen to my own music. I wrote a song the other day, just and I would just listen to it and I just begin to weep. So yeah. So page one. What you are seeing and hearing right now is nothing but a dream. You are dreaming right now in this moment. You are dreaming with the brain awake. And we're on page one for those that are following. Dreaming is the main function of the mind, and the mind dreams 24 hours a day. Let's read that again. Dreaming is the main function of the mind, and the mind dreams 24 hours a day. It dreams when the brain is awake, and it also dreams when the brain is asleep. The difference is that when the brain is awake, there is a material frame that makes us perceive things in a linear way. When we go to sleep, we do not have the frame, and the dream has the tendency to change constantly. This is so, y'all know what the word is, edible. You know why it's edible? Because this just confirms why meditation is so important at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day. It also, to me, confirms the idea about Jesus and God being in the mind, like Jesus being your conscious mind, but God being your subconscious or superconscious mind. Like you being able to tap into this place to where you can actually dream yourself into the reality that you want to create. What's up, Pastor Johnson? So yeah, because this is nothing but a dream. And it also chimes in and connects with Neville Garter that Jesus is imagination. Right? So we are legit living out what we are thinking subconsciously, which is why it's really, really beneficial for us to treat our mind like it's gold. We have to legit treat our mind like it's the best investment we will ever have. Because if this ain't right, think. Listen, nothing else will be right. And I like the phrase that one of my mentors says, God is mind. But let's keep it going. Y'all have anything y'all want to share in this space? Because this right here, it got me excited again about being in this space to pick this back up. So when we go to sleep, we do not have the frame, and the dream has the tendency to change constantly. Humans are dreaming all the time. Before we were born, the humans before us created a big outside dream that we will call society's dream or the dream of the planet. Right? Some of my friends don't like that I'm delusional on purpose. Listen, you gotta be delusional. You gotta be freaking delusional. You have to live like you got it. You gotta be in the space like you got it. And I've recently had to just cut some things off because I don't want that experience anymore. Y'all know, have you ever had that? Like you see something that's happening and you see the cycle of it and you just nicely back out because you realize that you deserve more. So why would you put your energy on something that you no longer want? It's a real place, and you have to be intentionally delusional so that you don't continue to put yourself in that same cycle. Kudos to you. Humans are dreaming all the time. Before we were born, the humans before us created a big outside dream that we will call society's dream or the dream of the planet. The dream of the planet is to collectively dream of billions of smaller personal dreams, which together create a dream of a family, a dream of a community, a dream of a city, a dream of a country, and finally a dream of the whole humanity. The dream of the planet includes all the society rules, its belief, its laws, its religions, its different cultures and ways to be, its government, schools, social events, and holidays. Yo, what I hear them say is it's all made up. That's what this is reminding me of. That this is all this societies, marriages, constructs. It's all made up. So the fact that we are fighting over stuff that ain't even real. Have y'all think about that? Being the like black against white, trans against non-trans. Like it's these are all things that are made up that we fight over. The construct of marriage is made up. Like back in that, I mean, I use the Bible a lot because I was raised in church, y'all. So the idea about the bed being undefiled and all those other scriptures is all made up. It is all made up. They were getting married. They didn't have no ceremonies. They didn't have no ceremonies. But we grow up. We grow up thinking that we got to have this big wedding. We got to have all this stuff. But that's not even, yo, let me get off of that. But even the government, even how things are put together, these are all things that we consciously came together to create. Listen, we have been tricked. And I think it's part of me that really dives in here because it's like, what part of this did we have to play in creating this bulls? I saw Ben Carson wrote something the other day. He said it will take 20 billion or 20 million to end like homelessness, and you got people sitting on 20 millions of dollars. So homelessness could end just like that. Like it just really just kind of just have me in this space. Okay, God, if this is, what is this and what role do I play? Because I continue to tell myself, I don't want to come here again. How do I level up to level out? Anybody with me? Anybody here understand that? How do I level up to level out? Because this game right here, this stage, this game, I haven't got to. I'm trying to figure out how to get to that fun part, to where it's like bet. But I think I want to get there and be like, okay, I reached the end. When it's time for me to transition to the other side, I want to be reminded of this experience. So maybe I can help other people on the other side. I'll be a helper. Let me be a spirit guide. Can I be a spirit guide on the other side? That's what, listen. Okay. But I wonder if they have their own stuff that they walk through too. Okay. Let me get back on it. All things that I'm bringing up because I think this whole world is very interesting. We were born with the capacity to learn how to dream, and the humans who lived before us teach us how to dream the way society dreams. The outside dream has so many rules that when a new human is born, we hook the child's attention and introduce these rules into his or her mind. The outside dream uses mom and dad, the schools, and religion to teach us how to dream. Woo! Let's read that again. The outside dream uses mom and dad, the schools, and religion to teach us how to dream. Attention is the ability we have to discriminate and to focus only on that which we want to perceive. My condolences. And I don't think we will fully understand either until we get to the other side. Like even the fights and the arguments about hell and all those things. And like we don't really know like about hell and heaven right? So the conversation about people having, I've seen hell and you're gonna burn up, like who really knows? Who really knows until you get over there? And maybe people have halfway crossed over. You know, my mama was saying something the other day. She said that when she had her near death experience that she saw light. So I can imagine that when we transition that there is light, like we're going back into the light, right? But I think everybody's going back to the light. Everybody's going back to light. And this is so interesting because I think interesting is my word. Because I was having a conversation with my mom the other night, and we were talking about scripture and heaven and hell, and she was asking me what I believe. And I used this analogy and around like somebody unaliving somebody else, right? And I said, if God is in control of everything, if God is in control of everything, and one person unalived a man and he had kids, but God is in control, didn't God approve of the man unaliving him? So if God is in control and he ordained it, why would the man that unalived the other man go to hell? Things I just begin to just talk and just think about because it makes no sense. Did y'all catch that? These are real questions because I don't think a lot of people are aware that the Bible says this, that God created the light and the dark. So we legit have experiences that we call dark, then that would it surpasses our understanding. Like we got tornadoes, we got bad weather, we got people poisoning food or doing whatever they do. Like, and if God is supposed to be in control of all of it, like what is happening? Then that would mean that God is not as God as we've been taught that God is, he or she is. So there has to be something more. But this is just me talking out loud to family because this is a safe place for me. I hope that makes sense to y'all. And she didn't have an answer, but I was solid that it makes no sense. But this is going back to a book that I read from Iyanla Van Zant, and I can't think of the name of the book, but it was just talking about how we don't know what anything is for. We don't know what anything is for. That woman who would have lost her husband could have been praying to be a millionaire. And just so happens her husband had $1 million policy. Hey, Renee. So what happens? Like she became a millionaire, but she had to go through losing her husband. Like we don't know what anything is for. We know what nothing is for. All we can do is be present with what we're walking through right now. And then as we are present, hopefully we are releasing the judgment of what we think somebody else. I saw this the other day, I heard this the other day. Somebody said, we've been taught to live everybody else's life except our own. Ain't that the truth? Because we've been taught how to meddle in other people's business and give them advice versus actually living in the advice that we are giving ourselves in our truth. Listen. Ah, thank you for the gift, fam. Appreciate you. But that's what we are, fam. We're getting back into our book, The Four Agreements. I'm walking through this space of embracing my own humanity and picking myself up, tapping me into the God in me in order to embrace that this is a game. And I've been working through my own processes of how did I manifest this year. But y'all want to know what helped me this year or walk through this year? Is understanding numerology, especially your personal year number. Do y'all know about personal year number? Do you know what your personal year number is for 2026? Maybe I need to slow down because I'm just excited. So your personal year number is basically the number, according to numerology, as to what you're meant to learn or walk through for that year. So my personal year number was 1. So what that entailed for me is that I would basically be in a place of solitude and be in a place of having to do things by myself. And this year, with walking through eviction, walking through just building and learning and growing on my own, like if I didn't, it's not the same as the life path number. I had to legit buckle down because there's not a lot of people that I could confide in. So your personal year number, y'all ready for it? What you do, you take your month, you take your day, and then you take the year that you're going to be going into. So if your birthday is February the 2nd, you would take 2. February the 2nd, you would take 2 plus 2, and then plus 2, because you got the 206. So you got 222. That's 6 plus 0 is 6 plus 2 is 8. And then 8 plus the, did I do that right? February 2nd, 2, 2. Yeah, 2. That's 8 plus 6 is 14. So you would be going into your 5th year, your 5th personal year. So yeah. Did y'all catch that? And we can, if y'all put your birthday down, I can give it to you. And we can just we can just do it that way. If you're okay with dropping your birthday in the chat, we can calculate it. So I'm going into a personal year number 2 next year. And they say, from what I've been reading or what I was reading, that the 8, 9, and 1 are like the hardest of the personal year numbers. Like 9, you're letting go. Renee, I didn't know you were a New Year's Day baby. I knew you was a Capricorn. Maybe I thought December. I didn't think January the 1st, but let's get into it. Okay. Let's get into a personal year number. I love that for you. Okay, so January the 1st, 2026. Your personal year number. Oh, this is going to be 3, a personal year 3. So your personal year 3 is social expansion and creative success. Vibrations of numbers 3 bring mental activity and generate the need to release energy through social contracts, studying, and various hobbies. Communication with an emphasis on self-expression in all areas become more important this year. If mental energy is not correctly directed, people can become irritable and critical, or they may begin to suffer from bad dreams or insomnia. So what this tells me, Renee, is that art needs to be in your making. Like maybe like I added 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 6. That gave us 12. And then you got to go and put down, add to the smallest number, unless it's a 11, 22, or 33. And that's where we got 3. Listen, I love that for you. Absolutely. So there you have it. There you have it. You are in a space of expansion. So revamping, um, maybe even looking into contracts, how you can partner with other creatives. I think that would be solid for you. And even if you know what? Let me give you this. I don't know if you are, how your arm is doing, but I got this ring light. And it's actually like a light that looks down. What you could do, Renee, if you're up to it, I would get a ring light and get a piece of paper, and basically I wish I could show it to you. I do have this box right here. So we have this light right here. Like I'm on TikTok Shop. Maybe they got this on TikTok Shop. But if you get this light and you see that phone right there, and just begin to draw live. Just begin to paint live, because the light will look over your work. And that's easy. If you're up to doing that, I would say run with that for 2026 and build your audience by your work. And maybe even I can see that expanding into you coaching people and teaching people how to draw or paint, or however you decide to put it together. Hopefully that was helpful. Anybody else want to put in your birthday, and I'll give you your personal year number? Come on, listen. Call it the Holy Ghost. So I would no longer think about it. I would actually get into it, because the 3, for me, it feels like the expansion of your work. But if you sit on it, it's highly probable that you'll be irritable and not really be able to sleep well, which is something we've already talked about before. So yeah, if you got the one on your neck, and here's the thing, just start with 10 minutes. For sure. If you need help, just let me know. I don't know if you know this, I build websites. I built mine, for sure. I can definitely help you with that. So that's where you can start in regards to, yes. That's where you can start with prepping for 2026. And I would say, don't let the website be a hindrance. Don't let the website be a hindrance by any means. Because you don't necessarily have to have a website. Now, if you want one, great. But you can always put things in a link tree. Book a art consult with me. But it's really about getting the traction to you. And I would even say, Renee, if you're really good at drawing images, okay. Now, if you want to do local, I think it will be, you can do local, but I would say this, in order for you to manifest that, a way you can manifest that is just start putting your energy out there. So maybe if you want to do local, maybe you take if you have an easel and you have a store that will allow you to go and just paint, then, or draw, then see if you can have a day to just set up and just go out and just let the universe open up a space for you to be able to do whatever your intention is. So you have options. You're never stuck. But if you want to grow your online presence, get the light. And even if it's just going live for 30 minutes, 20 minutes, just starting. This is interesting that we have this conversation, because I do have a heart. Oh, that's what's up. So I would definitely reach out. And then as you reach out, see if they will allow you to just partner. If not partner, create the space so that you can go and just draw in front of their store. And maybe they'll let you take donations for what you know, as you grow your brand. What's up, Mimi the baby doll? So yes. So I know we got off track, but that's what we were in our book. And we'll probably pick this up. Maybe I'll come back live again tomorrow and dive back into the book. Oh, I love that. I love that. But here's the thing. I wouldn't necessarily limit to local. You can do local. But I would say because a lot of things are still virtual, you can still pick up clients who want one-on-one sessions virtually and let that be a space that grows. I wouldn't necessarily limit to just doing local. I would maybe have your day to where you go out and do local, right? But then have your times that you're going online to work and show your space and, you know, draw. Yeah, for sure. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you. It's time. It's time to move. It's time to get it done. It's time to put that energy into. And here's the thing, because you have that Pisces moon, you're not going to, it's not going to let you rest. It's something about that Pisces moon that your heart, your soul is wrapped up in finding that way that your creativeness, your artistry is you're living in it on a regular basis. I don't know how to say it. Like that's where your coins are. That's where your happiness is, and that your art, like being able to monetize that and get paid from the work that you do. There's a level of satisfaction that is not going to go away. So yeah. So is there anybody else in the room that want to know your personal year number on how to navigate your year? We just kind of took a turn here. But if you want to know your personal year number, I'm just sharing this information because I want you to succeed for 2026. And one of the things that I know to be true, growing up in church, we had watch night service, but we did not talk about personal year numbers. And I think it's very, very important. Thank you for the repost and for the reshare. I think it's very important for you to know your personal year number. What does your year look like for 2026? Do you know what your year is going to look like for 2026 based upon your personal year number? And then there's other things that you can do, like knowing what every month represents. And that's something that I can assist you with too if you want to book a one-on-one reading. Because every month, as you go through your personal year number, is attached to some type of energy and frequency based upon your numbers. But the main thing, that big thing, is that personal year number, at least knowing the scope of the full year. So you know, okay, this is what I'm learning. This is what I'm working through. So that if anything pops off, it's not like you are taking it back. Am I making sense? Am I making sense? I thank you all for the share and for the likes. But I become very... You can go to... Right now I'm using numerology, AstroSeek. I believe it should be a calendar on there. To see the full year chart. You're welcome. But I'm looking at AstroSeek, and look up under numerology. But this, for me, has been life-changing. I remember going into my 9-year, and I was best friends with this individual. And as soon as that 9-year hit, they did something. I was like, I can't deal with that. And it was like, I had no beef about it, because it was almost like, okay, this is supposed to be this way. And I just let it go, because it was like, it's aligned with what I'm supposed to, it's aligned with the 9-year, which means I'm releasing. It's okay to let this go. It has run its course, and it's okay. And I think that if I hadn't known that was in my personal year number, I would have been really, really irritated, and probably even tried to get the friendship back. So cool, fam. Check out your personal year number, map out your year according to your numbers. Sit in that. Did you get your did you find that Renee, did you find that not devotional? Did you check out the website I sent you for the Bible in a year? And my mentor is actually starting in January. Oh, my pleasure. My mentor is actually doing a Bible study online as well on YouTube. And she's going to be doing a Bible in the year, but she's going to be using the Ethiopian Bible, which I think is going to be really, really cool. My pleasure. It's a pleasure to serve. It's a pleasure to serve. All right, fam. Cool beans. I'm going to go ahead and log off, and we will definitely be chiming in, putting this energy out here in the ether to come back. Look up the Christian witch. I don't know if it's going to, and I will, if you can't find it, email me. But it's the Christian witch. Yes, Reverend Valerie Love, the Christian witch. She's a Christian witch. Very. Very, 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 very. All right, fam. I hope you guys have an amazing evening, and we will talk to y'all later. Love you. Love you back. I'll bet. All right, talk to y'all later.